everyone, you're welcome to Respite with Nike. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this channel. If you haven't done so already, can you go ahead to share the link with as many people as you think will like this video? Would be a blessing to. If you haven't liked, please go ahead to like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. And please remember to press the bell icon so that you can get notified every time we post a new video. All right, we're still on faith stories. I hope you've been enjoying the different stories that I've been sharing with you. The reason, like I said in the earlier videos or the previous videos about sharing faith stories, is that when we listen to faith stories, our hearts get stirred afresh to want to believe God for more, or to see the possibilities that are available in God. As a person of faith, I will talk about God and the possibilities that are available to Him. And that's exactly one of the things that we're doing right here today. So let's jump into our new story for today. And today we're looking at when Jesus healed an official's son. All right, Jesus healing an official's son. And the extract is taken from the book of John 4:43 to 54. It's John 4:43 to 54. I'll just read it and then we'll just talk about it briefly when I'm done. After the 2 days, he left Galilee. Now Jesus himself had pointed out that a prophet has no honor in his own home. When he arrived in Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him. They had seen all that he had done in Jerusalem at the Passover festival, for they also had been there. Once more, he visited Canaan in Galilee, where he had turned the water into wine. And there was a certain royal official whose son lay sick at Capernaum. When this man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was close to death. Unless you people see signs and wonders, Jesus told him, you'll never believe. The royal official said, Sir, come down before my child dies. Go, Jesus replied, your son will live. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. While he was still on the way, his servant met him with the news that his boy was living. When he inquired as to the time when his son got better, they said to him, yesterday at 1 in the afternoon, the fever left him. Then the father realized that this was the exact time at which Jesus had said to him, your son will live. So he and his household believed. And this was the second sign Jesus performed after coming from Judah to Galilee. This is a lovely story that I so much love and enjoy. It just talked about an official. It didn't tell us what kind of official he was, but let's just say that he was the royal official. All right. So he said that his son lay sick with fever. And he went to Jesus. He said the man heard that Jesus had arrived. One of the things I've learned about this faith story is that all of the people that received something from Jesus always heard about Jesus. They always heard. So it's the same way right now. You watching and staring, you're hearing about Jesus. You're hearing about the things that he had done. It was the same thing they did. They heard about Jesus and then they approached to Jesus. All right, so don't just let these faith stories that we're listening to just be the end. All right, they heard about Jesus and then they approached him. Approach Jesus today. All right, let's just go on. And they approached Jesus and told him, and he was begging Jesus that Jesus, please come to my house and heal my son. And then Jesus told him, he said, you know what, go home. Jesus didn't even follow him. Jesus said, go home, your son will be healed. And the Bible records that the man took Jesus at his word and he went home. And after he had gone home, so here I think he traveled like maybe a day's journey, because when he got home, he found out that his son was already healed. The fever had left the son. And then he inquired. I love this man. He wanted to be sure that it was not just a coincidence that, oh, I went to ask Jesus, Jesus didn't come, but now I'm home. He said, what time did this fever leave my son? And then they told him that it was about 1 the day before. So it was about the exact time that Jesus told him to go home, that his son would leave. That was when the fever left him. All right, so this is a healing miracle. Remember, we're talking about faith stories. We are now seeing a healing miracle where a child got healed at the word of Jesus. And what's the key points I need us to kind of like narrow in or zoom in today's video? It says the official took Jesus at his word. He simply put, the official believed Jesus. When Jesus said go, he didn't stay back and say, no, you have to come with me. He didn't say, are you sure, Jesus? Jesus said, go, your child will live. And the Bible says he went. He took him at his word and he went. So he believed what Jesus told him and he went. All right, so what has God told you in his word about your child? What promise can you see, when there's a milestone you want your child to achieve? What promise have you seen in the Bible that God is speaking to you about your child? For a child that is non-verbal, the Bible talks about the fact that our tongue is like a pen of a ready writer. All right? So you can't hold on to that promise and say, Lord, this is what your word says, that my tongue is like a pen of a ready writer. That I believe that my child will speak. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I hold you at your word that you're making his tongue like the pen of a ready writer. All right? You need to take him at his word. You need to take Jesus at his word. You need to take God as its word and go to him with whatever milestone you want to see achieved, with whatever it is you want to see done in the life of your child or your young person. It is possible, all right? These faith stories are to inspire your faith, to stir your faith, to see that all the things that we're believing God for, people believed God for much more in the Bible when Jesus walked on the earth and they got their answers, they got their results. What can you see in God's word about your child? Hold Jesus at his word. Simply believe it, and you will see your child walking in the reality of what it is that you are believing him for. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to the faith story. Go ahead to share this link with as many people as you think would need it, and share, like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Press the bell icon so that you can get notified every time we post a new video, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye for now.